Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Small reminder, you're stepping into the dangerous world of Shadows of the Knot. This is a chapter 12, Ghost in the Ashes. Let's begin. The mountain safe house was a fortress of pine and steel, buried deep in the northern woods where cell service died and the wind howled like a warning. Kai Voss had been there 3 days, and every hour felt like a cage tightening around his ribs. The graze on his side had scabbed over, but the real wound was deeper, the forced separation from Vic. The fated bond hummed constantly under his skin, a low, angry ache that the regular suppressants could no longer fully dull. He paced the reinforced common room like a caged wolf, ignoring the 4 loyal Draven guards who watched him with polite wariness. They were good men, professional, but they weren't Vic. That night, after the guards changed shifts and the house settled into its midnight quiet, Kai made his choice. No more waiting, no more hiding like some fragile Omega prize. He was ending this war himself. Slipping into the small medical station, he found the locked cabinet Dr. Lena had warned him about before he left the penthouse. Inside, vials of the most aggressive suppressant on the black market. Ghost dose. It didn't just mute an Omega's heat and scent. It erased them completely for up to 72 hours, flooding the system with synthetic blockers so strong they could fool even the sharpest alpha nose. Side effects were brutal. Heart palpitations, temporary scent blindness, and a crash that could kill if you pushed too hard. Kai didn't care. He injected 2 full doses into his thigh, gritting his teeth as fire spread through his veins. The world tilted for a second, then sharpened. His rare Omega scent, dark cherry, gunpowder, midnight rain, vanished like it had never existed. He was a blank slate, a ghost. Phase 1. Fake his own death. Kai waited until the 2 a.m. guard rotation. He started a small controlled electrical fire in the generator shed, using a shorted wire and a bottle of cleaning solvent. Alarms blared. Guards shouted and rushed outside, weapons drawn, assuming a Volkov probe. While they were distracted, Kai slipped into the armory, took a spare tactical vest and a silenced pistol, then staged the scene. He smeared his own blood, drawn quickly from the reopened graze. Across the snow near the tree line, fired 2 silenced shots into the ground, and left his torn Draven jacket tangled in the branches like it had been ripped off in a struggle. A single set of boot prints led toward the frozen river, then nothing. He doubled back through the woods, moving like the street kid he once was, erasing his trail. By the time the guards found the blood and the burning shed, they were already radioing Marcus in panic. Voss is gone. Looks like he tried to run and got grabbed or killed. Blood everywhere, no body yet. River's fast this time of year. Kai didn't wait to hear the rest. He was already 3 miles down the mountain road, thumbing a ride from a sleepy trucker, heading south with a fake story about a hiking accident. By sunrise, he was in a rundown motel on the edge of the city, staring at himself in the cracked mirror. Phase 2, the disguise. He dyed his messy auburn hair jet black, shearing the sides short and messy on top in a style that screamed street enforcer instead of elite bodyguard. Contacts turned his sharp green eyes a muddy brown. He swapped his tactical clothes for worn black jeans, a faded leather jacket 2 sizes too big, and scuffed combat boots. A fresh fake ID, courtesy of a shady contact he still had from his pre-Draven days, named him Rafe Keller, a beta mercenary, looking for work after a bad job with a rival crew. A fresh scar he carved lightly across one cheek with a sterilized blade completed the look. Rough, disposable, exactly the kind of man the Volkovs hired for dirty work. He looked nothing like Kai Voss, nothing like the rebellious Omega who had pinned Victor Draven to the dock floor. Phase 3, infiltration. The Volkov syndicate's main hub was a sprawling, underground complex beneath an old meatpacking plant on the west side, heavily guarded, but hungry for new muscle after the losses at the club and the penthouse raid. Kai, now Rafe, walked straight into the outer perimeter at dusk, hands loose at his sides, no scent to betray him. A scarred Volkov, lieutenant named Dmitri, the same one from the docks, was overseeing recruitment. He eyed the newcomer with suspicion but no recognition. "You've got balls showing up uninvited, Keller." Kai kept his voice flat. "Heard you're short on men after Draven's latest bloodbath. I'm good with a gun, better at not asking questions. Pay's all I care about." Dmitri laughed, a harsh bark. "Draven's got an Omega weakness now. Boss wants leverage. You any good at snatch jobs?" Kai's stomach twisted, but his face stayed stone. "I'm good at whatever pays." Dmitri studied him a long moment, then jerked his head toward the inner doors. "Trial run tonight. We're hitting one of Draven's smaller warehouses. Prove yourself, and you meet the boss. Screw up on your fish food in the river." They led him inside. Kai kept his head down, heart hammering behind the ghost dose's chemical wall. The aggressive suppressant was already making his pulse erratic, a faint nausea crawling up his throat, but it held. No scent, no heat, no trace of the fated bond that would have screamed Vic's name the second he stepped into enemy territory. He was close now, closer than anyone in the Draven syndicate could ever get. Sergei Volkov, the aging but vicious patriarch of the Volkov Empire, was rumored to be holding court in the deepest level tonight. Kai's plan was simple and suicidal: earn enough trust to get within arm's reach, then put a bullet between the old man's eyes, cut the head off the snake, end the war before Vic had to burn everything down, even if it cost him his life, even if the fated bond, buried under layers of ghost, doze, and lies, was already starting to fray at the edges. Whispering that the alpha he left behind would tear the world apart when he learned his Omega had chosen to become a ghost. Kai Voss, now Rafe Keller, smiled thinly as they handed him a fresh gun. "Welcome to the Volkovs," Dmitri said. Kai chambered around. "Glad to be here." The war had just gained a new player, and no one, not Vic, not the Volkovs, saw him coming. And that's the end of Chapter 12. Kai has made a radical and dangerous choice. Using the powerful ghost dose suppressants, he fakes his own death at the safe house, completely changes his appearance, and successfully infiltrates the Volkov syndicate under a new identity. He is now deep in enemy territory, with one deadly goal in mind. If you're enjoying Shadows of the Knot, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next episode.